Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and a fun fact about me is that I am not easily deceived. Obviously, there have been times in my life where someone has lied to me, or cheated, or stolen, or, completely taken me to the cleaners, metaphorically, of course. But generally, I feel like I have a very good lie detector. I feel like I'm pretty good at figuring out someone's motivation, like why they want to hang out, why they want to interact with me. And I'm very thankful for that because I didn't always have that, and being able to develop that I think is an important ability. It's important to be able to see other people's motives and why they are trying to influence you or manipulate you, and to be difficult to manipulate is probably a very desired skill. I think it's a very useful skill. And just to know when someone is trying to distract you or, deceive you. So really what we're talking about today is deceit, and why it is such a unfortunately utilized idea or ability, and why it's so frustrating to deal with, because we would like to probably live in a world where everyone is just meeting you on an even playing field. If you're conducting business or relationships, maybe, your hobbies and your interests, it would be really nice if everyone could just operate on the same, system of rules and regulations. And, it would allow the people who are really good to get to the top, and the ones that aren't that good wouldn't do well. A meritocracy. But unfortunately, we deal with people who want to get ahead in the system. They want to cheat, beg, borrow, steal, whatever it might be. And they will use many different tactics in your life to get you to do what they want you to do. And I'm sure that all of us have dealt with this in the guises of like a relationship, whether that's a friendship or family member, whatever. But we've dealt with deceit and with, manipulation in general. And it can be really, really, really obvious, or it can be absolutely almost undetectable. It's not unusual for someone to just really pull the wool over your eyes and you had no idea, and then someone else kind of wakes you up to that and says like, hey, this person totally used you. Do you not see that? And then you didn't see it, and you're just like, what the heck? Why? How? I don't understand. And so I guess if you want some basic advice for dealing with it, is I try and be very honest and open and upfront from day one with whatever I'm doing, whatever situation. And generally, I find that people have a hard time being deceitful towards that. I find people, if you're meeting them like super openly and honestly and just being like, yeah, you're telling the uncomfortable truths, you are stating things without too much hyperbole or emotion. You're not like, oh my God, like this was the worst thing ever. I find when you're pretty like dry and honest with people, they have a hard time going to that like deceitful level in an interaction. I think when you're kind of a no BS, no nonsense character, people try and meet you there, and they kind of almost get this sense that like you will not be moved, you will not be swayed by hyperbole or emotion or appeals to humanity or whatever they're trying to do. Like they might be like begging for money or back talking you behind other people. But if you just meet them with like direct, open honesty, it generally breaks through any lies they're trying to tell, any manipulations, any falsehoods that they're trying to embrace. Like it can be difficult in our world with social media and, the different tools that deceitful people have to stay that honest course. But I do think in the end, people wake up, especially when the person who is being deceitful is doing it by going behind your back and talking to other individuals. I've always thought that, you know, I went to school with some people who were very big into gossip and very big into, you know, trying to display everyone's dirty laundry, put their best foot forward, make them seem like they were this holier than thou, good Christian, when in fact, like, this particular group of girls was really just mean girls who wanted to display a narrative. And being just kind of a straight shooting person, someone who just said it like it was, I found that when I attracted their anger and they started to like kind of come after me, just being super honest with all of my friends and the people in the situation made them look like fools. It made them look like they were these emotionally screaming, upset, angry, teenagers, which we were. But I think it really displayed over time how ridiculous the situation had gotten. Like all these people were terrified of this group of girls who were just mean and nasty. And so I think direct honesty is a really good way of dealing with deceit. I think meeting people on as even a playing field as you can really lets you just focus on being you. It's also a lot less work. It's really exhausting being deceitful. It's really exhausting being this like over the top, emotionally strenuous person. Like, it's kind of exhausting. It's far easier just to take things in quietly and collectively and to then make actions based on some calm decision making. Like, I don't know if you know that, but it's quite apparent. It's quite obvious. So unfortunately, deceit is something that we deal with in our lives no matter what. And unfortunately, it can come from the people we love the most, people we hate the most, people who infuriate us the most, people we thought were friends. Deceit can come from anywhere. Manipulation really sucks. And it sucks to realize that certain people in your life might be manipulating you or trying to control you or hold something over you in any way, shape, or form. I know, okay, I'm just gonna say this really quickly. Some of you guys read into what I post on a weekly basis into like super deep. Like, you guys think like, oh my God, like he's being manipulated by someone. Like you'll watch a video that I talk about on a subject and you guys are like so concerned for me. I just want to really state, like, I wanted to talk about this topic because I wanted to talk about this topic. I'm not being manipulated. I have not been manipulated recently, as far as I know. Life is good. I'm very happy. I'm very content. Winter has started, it's just a typical Canadian November. So yes, thank you so much for your care and your concern. But sometimes I just like making a video based on something. Like, there isn't like some grand, subtle message I'm trying to send. Like, I'm not trying to like blink twice if you're being held against your will. There's none of that. So thank you so much. Let me know about times in your life where you have been deceived or manipulated, or someone has tried to pull the wool over your eyes and it just fell flat on its face. And I hope you are not dealing with any deceit in your life. And as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.